Perashat Vayetzei. This coming Shabbat, our Perasha is Perashat Vayetzei. It talks about few subjects. How it starts with how Yaakov left his father and mother to find a wife in Haran, outside of the land of Canaan. How he met Rachel on the well. How he got married to Rachel and Leah and their maids. And then how he worked for Lavan, his father-in-law, for 7 years for the sheep, and then how he started, how the 11 of the 12 tribes were born, and how Yaakov started his trip back to Eretz Israel, to his motherland. There is one pasuk that caught my attention, and it is it says, Yaakov says that if Hashem yeh Elohim amadi ושמעני בכל אשר אלך ונתן לי לחם לאכול ובגד ללבוש, which means that if Hashem will be with me and he guards me and preserves me, and he gives me food to eat and clothing to wear, ושבתי בשלום לבית אבי, and I will go back in peace to my father's house, and he will remain my God. And he says in return, and I will make this even that he slept on it as matzeba l'Hashem. And from everything that you give me, I will give a tithe to you. I will give you 10%. And here at this point, I want to make it perfectly clear. In fact, to make disclaimer that I am not a rabbi. I am regular lay person in everything, especially when it comes to Judaism. I don't make halacha. However, I want to mention that we do know that we have biblical commandment that everyone should give a 10% of that 10% of his land harvest maaser, tithe. Aser ta'aser tebu'at zaraicha, Yosef Sadeh shana shana, that you shall give tithe from the harvest every year on yearly basis. So the rabbinical authority asks, how do we know that not only the harvest of the land, but all other earnings, like from commerce, from consulting, from service, from anything that the person should give ma'aser? They refer to this pasuk because it says, "V'chol asher titen li aser aser," from everything that you give me, I'm going to take a tithe for you. Because we do know that Hashem did not give us only money. He gave us, in fact, probably money is the least precious gift that He gave us. He gave us time on this earth. He gave us skills. He gave us probably good voice. He gave us experience. That Yaakov is referring here, that from everything that you gave me in those aspects, I'm also to give you a tithe. And in fact, what triggered me to talk about this subject is a comment in the Stone edition of Art Scroll that Rabbi Moshe Feinstein says that the person should give not only his money but also his time to charity. And now we do know that every person, he has skills that are unique to him, that are not shared by any other person. In fact, the soul, it has 5 names in Hebrew. It's Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Haya, Yehida. One of them is Yehida. Yehida in English means unique, which means that that person, we know that every soul is completely unique. Even identical twins don't have the same characters and skills. Yehida means that only that person. So we have, it is very important to think what are the gifts that Hashem gave us and share them with others. And if we do know that we have to give 10% of our earned money to tzedakah. At least we do know, everyone agrees that it is not a biblical commandment to give ma'aser, but it is part of being Jewish. In fact, we read a couple of weeks ago that Abraham Avinu, the father of the Jewish nation, he gave Melchizedek Melech Shalem 10% of what he has because he was Kohen Le'el Alyon. So from the beginning, the Jews are accustomed to giving. So here my point tonight is that the giving should not be only restricted to money, but to everything else that Hashem gave us. We have to figure out that for example, we spend, let's say, 8 hours working, 8 hours we are supposed to spend it learning Torah, and 8 hours for our personal needs like sleeping and eating and bathing and attend to our other personal needs. So we have at least to give 10% of the 8 hours to community work. Like, for example, volunteering to be on board of a synagogue or Bikur Holim or Hatzalah or any of the trillion organization that we have. We have to devote time for other things. Like, I do know people who spend very, very precious time to help people who are mentally or physically challenged, and they attest that this is the most rewarding time that they feel. They feel that they accomplished something. It is clear that if that this kind of charity and this kind of giving is, if it is done all the time in a routine way, just like we give the tithe, our communities, our country, in fact the world will be a much better place to be in. And so if we devote, like, from the 8 hours 10%, that means 48 minutes. That means about 5 to 6 hours per week. If somebody can imagine how much this will add up, it will be to a tremendous amount of good that can be accomplished with this given time that we give back to our community, and we have to remember, for us to be able to do that, we do know that Hashem guarantees us that if we give Ma'aser, that He will give us back multiple times. Behanuni nabazot, test me in that if I don't give you back multiple times. And I believe that everyone who gives can attest to the fact that whatever you give, venatenu, it comes back from right to left and left to right, is read the same way. There is no reason to think that if somebody gives more other than money, like time and talent and skills and helpful hand, that will not do the same thing. If we give time, Hashem will give us time, will give us arichut yamim. If we give talent, Hashem will help us in keeping the talent and developing it and nurturing it. There are many stories that when people who taught Torah to people who are being challenged in learning Torah, they felt that at that time that Ma'aneh Chochmah were open to their mind and were able to learn much more easily than before. So it is the challenge for each one of us to figure out what is he good at, and see what can he give back to the community. because this is one of the things that Gemilut Hasadim, we read it every day when we say the Korbanot, that there are certain things that Adam that when we give, we feel something immediate that comes back to us, and that will make not only other people's life better, but our own life will be also better. So as I mentioned before, we have to think, how can we give, and try to do it immediately. Not say that next year I'm going to start being involved in Bikur Cholim, or next year I'm going to do this and that, but try to be involved immediately, and the rewards will come. This week it is a happy week. This is the beginning of our nation. Yaakov Avinu got married. That's why the Ma'am is Ajam, which is a happy makam, happy musical scale. I wish you Shabbat Shalom, and that there will always be smachot in our houses and the house of all our people. Shabbat Shalom.